change. And we are a community education and trade association, which means that we want Granny, Pookie, and the PhDs in between all to understand the health and wealth benefits of the new green economy. And that we didn't just fall off the pumpkin truck. If you hear people say, oh, well, black people, they ain't into the environment, you know, I know, and your mama knows that that's not so. It's not true, it's never been true, and it's never gonna be true. So we have a lot of great and wonderful things happening today, and but it begins and ends with you. One of my favorite pieces of big gatherings, everybody, just if you ain't feeling Lena, my sidekick there, just tell her to go and she shall. Is the part where we go around and introduce ourselves. Hey, Kathy. And so before anyone leaves, because I know some people are, you know, sliding in and sliding out, I would like for us to just get in a little tighter. Get in a little tighter. Come on, nobody gonna bite anybody. Or at least if they bite you, then it must be because you look scrumptious. Okay. And just do a hello, and so that we can get a sense of who all is here, because it never ceases to amaze me. Never ceases to amaze me. The great diversity, the rich resource that we are in and of ourselves. And so here we go. I'm gonna start with this man to my left. And Mo had the grace recently when Big brought our inaugural environmental education, our environmental literacy course to Christy Weber as part of our field day. Letting them see in action what the new green economy was like. Mo doesn't know it, but he really became one of the catalysts, one of the inspirations for the 8 students that we shepherded that week. Look, I'm going to introduce you to my other new and wonderful friends, our certified tree keeping experts. Come on over here, who are going to give us a little tree 101 today. And because, you know, it's like, just because in nature a tree, you know, it just kind of plants itself and it just kind of grows, you know, and especially now that we're talking about native plants and seeds and trees, we know that we want something that's going to be hardy, that's not going to require, it's not going to be high maintenance like, you know, some of us. and so we want to make sure that the children know what Granny always knew, which is that it's not just because they're pretty, and it's not just because they help us breathe. There's all sorts of reasons, medicinal ones included, why we have to be reintroducing ourselves as stewards of the land. And so for those of you who, don't know it, you cannot just necessarily plant a tree, dig a hole, plop it in, pat it down, and walk away. Am I right? Can you take a minute and tell us just a little bit, and then we're going to have a little bit more depth about that in a minute. Introduce yourselves, and then we're going to go around the room.
I'm Karen Rotan, Christina Estrada.
We can't hear you.
Karen Rotan, Maria Estrada, Christina Estrada. We're from a neighborhood known as Bush on the southeast side, right by where the Calumet River joins Lake Michigan. Some of you know that as the old U.S. Steel property. And we've been doing tree planting from the ground up for several years in our community, and we're here to share it with your community. In addition to the very large Christy Weber tree, we brought some very young baby trees, and we'll be sharing some pointers with you later about how to care for them and see what you can do right here.
Raise your hand if you've ever heard of a certified tree keeper before. We got a pretty savvy bunch down here, because usually we're running a like 1 or 2% when we go, you know, deep into these quote-unquote green economy jobs. But we're going to learn more about that, more about the care and feeding of trees. And until then, let's just go around and have an introduction of who's here. So, Mo, you start.
How you doing, everyone? I'm Mo from Christy Weber Landscapes, and I just came to donate a tree.
And what do you do at Christy Weber?
I'm a yard manager.
A yard manager. Oh, and because his story is not unlike some of the young people who came through our course, is the reason that they found themselves. Miss Tarina.
Hi everyone, I'm Tarina with Stay Environmentally Focused. We do beautification pieces in the community. We take children on field trips to visit museums, artwork. We focus on recycling campaigns, and everything that's in the community good for the children and the environment.
Sure.
My name is Cheryl Johnson. I'm a resident in Allgale, and I also run an organization that was founded by my mother, Hazel Johnson, People for Community Recovery. We're a 30-year-old environmental justice organization with the focus of environmental advocacy and environmental training, and we just started a youth program where we call Photo Voice for Environmental Justice, where we are making crusaders in our community, our residents, where they're going to go around with pictures to document what they like or dislike about the environment in which they live. So hopefully we'll have an exhibit probably in April with the young people to coincide with Earth Day. Thank you.
Good morning. Good afternoon. My name is Lynn Toy Lawson. I'm with the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning. Our agency is responsible for creating the next 2040 Regional Comprehensive Plan for all 7 counties of northeastern Illinois. A special thanks to Naomi and everybody else that's here, because what it does is allow us to hear the voices from all people, from all communities across this region, so that when we develop a plan, it really speaks to all of us. It doesn't just speak to certain interests. So I welcome the opportunity to meet each of you individually and work with us. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Angela, come on up here.
Yay. Angela Herlock with Clarishan Associates. We're based in South Chicago. We're an affordable housing developer and community developer that's been doing work since the 70s. This summer we had our first Green Summit when we wanted to educate our community about all the green things that were happening. People think, oh, this is just up north and this is just for the privileged. We have urban farms, we have green housing, we have people that are having bike clubs and different things, and it's important that we get that education out. So we wanted to be here today and support BIG.
I'm Nika Thompson. I'm an attorney, and I'm working with the BIG organization in the communications area, assisting organizations that are members of BIG in effectively communicating in certain areas of the green and development.
Tanisha.
Hello everybody. My name is Tanisha Lee. I'm with the City of Chicago Department of Environment. And what I do with the department is I do community outreach and education. I work with their communications group to get the word out on a variety of environmental issues that the department is working on. My focus right now is the Chicago Climate Action Plan, which is the city's plan to reduce greenhouse gas emissions substantially, 20%, 25% below 1990 levels by the year 2020.
My name is Jennifer Hirsch, and I work at the Field Museum.
Can't hear you.
My name is Jennifer Hirsch. I work at the Field Museum in the Applied Science Department. It's called Environment, Culture, and Conservation. And
Otherwise known as
ECHO.
They got a million acronyms over there.
And we have been working on a project called New Allies for Nature and Culture, which is how we really started to work with Naomi. That's looking at what are the intersections between issues that deal with nature and natural environment and issues that deal with community and social issues, and how do those things come together. And economic development is one of the areas that we identified as the biggest, one of the biggest ways in which they come together. This is a perfect example of that. And we're also working with the Department of Environment with Tanisha and Suzanne Malik McKenna, who's the commissioner, to start doing research on how this whole Chicago Climate Action Plan is actually going to get moved on the ground, how local residents are going to actually see that this is something that they care about. So how do we connect these climate issues with other issues in communities that are of importance? And so we're working with them on that. So it's good to be here.
Thank you. Mommy?